All right, are you thinking about making a move to LaGrange and you want to know what the actual vibe is like? Not just looking at listings on your computer or something like that, but what it actually feels like to live here, eat here, play here. How's it going to be like to get to downtown? Well, I've got you covered because today I went through LaGrange and I talked to business owners, talked to this place behind me, Bottle and Bodega, which was super cool, and a number of business owners didn't want me talking to them, which is sort of the vibe that I got here. But I'm going to show you everything, take you in to see what some homes around here are actually like. So let's get into it because I'm going to show you the whole rundown of LaGrange to see if you think this is really a good fit for you and your family. All right, so you want to know what it's like to live, to eat, to hang out in LaGrange, what it's going to be like if you move here. Well, I'm going to walk you through that. I'm going to talk to you about the demographics, what you can expect here, and I'm going to walk you through the downtown, get you into some shops, get you into some places around here. Now, one thing I'm right outside here out of the LaGrange movie theater, and a lot of these communities like Downers Grove, Elmhurst, Oak Park, they're all anchored by an old historic movie theater, and LaGrange is no different. So I think that's an awesome feature here. I love it, having an old historic movie theater here to go into to check out movies here. Now, the rest of LaGrange, what do you get? What do you get in LaGrange? Here's Cold Stone Creamery. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm an ice cream guy. I love my ice cream. And Cold Stone's a little more of a chain. There's a place around the corner that I'm going to show you that's been serving ice cream here for over 35 years in LaGrange. So you're going to want to stick around for that. But a lot of where LaGrange is here, you'll see here, just up here, over there, you got smoothies. There's a place, Casinos, over there on the corner that's got great breakfast. They source a lot of their stuff locally. What you're going to find is you have a lot of restaurants around here. It is very restaurant heavy in LaGrange. It's not so much of your like unique little shops that you get in some of the other communities like Oak Park, Evanston and stuff, but you're going to get a lot of food. So you have a little neighborhood deli over here. This is Q Barbecue, which they have a lot of these around town. A lot of Q barbecues. So the thing here is that you have, this is the main strip here. You have, this is Manheim right now. And what's cool here is the thing you want to ask yourself, so going back to what kind of people live around here. Well, LaGrange is pretty upper middle class, upper middle class, right? You're talking about a median income of about $153,000, but the median home price right now is like $695,000. It's not very diverse, very Caucasian, but that's sort of a lot of people, like median 30 to 50-year-olds that are living here. A lot of financial professionals, not so much doctors and stuff, CPAs, attorneys, things like that. That's what a lot of LaGrange is made up of. So it's that higher sort of middle class, upper middle class, like I said, that you get in LaGrange. That's sort of what the vibe that you're going to find. Now, this is the main street. One of the things that people love about LaGrange is this downtown and all the different restaurants. Now, the thing about it is it's really just this downtown. I'm going to walk down here a few blocks. There's a couple little arteries, but once you get outside of that, there's not a lot of stuff going on. Now, LaGrange is about 14 miles west of the city of Chicago, and it is around 16,000 people. So it's a little bit on the smaller side. It's about 2.5 square miles, but it gets very suburban once you get outside of the main area here. So once again, you got another restaurant over here. There's some really awesome restaurants. There's an Indian place down the street that people come in from all over the place. So across the way is Village Hall, and on Thursdays, they have a farmer's market there, a really awesome farmer's market. That's one thing that a lot of these communities have, is a lot of farmer's markets. You know, you're gonna see here, there's just kids riding bikes down here, you know what I mean? You're gonna see a lot of the kid activity and stuff in LaGrange. That's what's cool. But let's keep walking and check out what else there is to do. You got a chocolate factory here. I love ice cream. I love chocolate. They have ice cream here, but like I told you, I'm gonna show you an ice cream place that I would recommend if you're coming to LaGrange. So far, like I said, Forbidden Noodles. It is a lot of food, All right, so I'm that old school guy. I love selling in this area. Is one of the things that, you know, about LaGrange is it has old homes. I really like that. And I like this old vibe that you're sort of like in an old downtown type of a place. That is something that's cool about LaGrange. Now, if you are looking for like, you know, a situation where you have a condo downtown, where you could take the train downtown, you don't have a ton of options, but there are some. So if that is what you're looking for, maybe the grandparents want to come and take care of the kids, there are some options around here. There's a few buildings that you can look at. that might meet that. And there's also actually in LaGrange Park, there is a good assisted living community, a senior living community that's very well, highly sought after in this area. So that's something to keep in mind. But let's walk around and see what else LaGrange has to offer. You have the Ace, as I said, across the street over here is Village Hall. So that's the Village Hall. That's where you're gonna go get your permits. More food, Homer's Place. Now, this is one of those places that was here for a long time, one of the old staples here in LaGrange. Now, you have a lot more options, a lot more restaurants. Chocolate Factory. Now, so far, you have a mix of chain restaurants. Now, another thing here, now at the end of this block, is gonna be one of the reasons why a lot of people like the LaGrange. Stick with me here because I'm gonna walk through this downtown area and then show you one of the real big reasons that people like LaGrange. But as I talk about here, this is Mannheim or LaGrange Road, depending on where you are. So what's cool here is one of the reasons people like it is you can take it south here to 55, and it's an artery down to St. Louis, one of the biggest expressways around. And right on Mannheim, you take a left here if you're right here, and you can go get on 290 to get to downtown Chicago. Now, and at the end of the street here, you just take a left on Ogden and you can get to 294. So you're really sort of centrally located, really close to a lot of expressways. All right, so let's keep going. As I said, one of the things here, it's a lot of food, a lot of food. This is gonna be like a dumpling place. This Max place has some awesome burgers. So I've been in here, they have a burger with some jalapeno on it. It's a career vibe in there. So, it's summertime, you got the street, people eating on the street. That's something that's really cool. And of course, your Starbucks, right? You're gonna have your Starbucks. There are other coffee shops, we'll find out. I know Blueberry Hill Cafe across the street there. That Blueberry Hill across the street is a really popular place in town. It's been here for quite a long time. So we're downtown LaGrange. So far, you see the first street going north is pretty much all food, right? It's all food right here. Now, you do have some of these little side streets here where you jut off, and you do have some more businesses. So it's not just one street. Now, the thing about LaGrange, though, is it is really just this downtown. Right, like a block east, a block west, a block south, north. You get into residential right away, which is cool because it's easy to get to the public transportation. But once you're outside of this downtown, there's not a lot going on in LaGrange. You see, this road gets really busy. It gets really busy, and during certain hours, like rush hour, it can be brought back up quite a bit. But come here, follow me. So here's a little sort of unique little place, Bottle and Bodega. Let's go in there and check it out. Your name?
My name's Meg. I'm the
Meg.
owner. Yep,
Okay.
my husband and I.
Cool. How long have you owned this place?
13 years. Just celebrated 13
Nice.
years.
Congratulations.
Wow,
Wow,
thank
awesome.
you.
So why did you tell me a little bit about history? What initiated?
So I'm actually a third generation studio owner. My mom and grandmother both owned studios when I was a kid. And
Around here or where did you
actually worked. We had a shop for 30 years. Have arts and crafts, have dollhouses and miniatures. Eventually merged to dollhouses and miniatures, but it's always been in my blood.
Did you live in LaGrange before you opened here or what?
We had been LaGrange residents for about 20 years.
Okay.
But we just really love the community. We originally were in the city and moved out to the Burbs, and
Why'd you like LaGrange?
yeah, like
Curious.
it has like a great downtown feel, but kind of that old historical feel as well too. And it's just a really great, clean community. It's really conveniently
Just talking about that.
the placement of where it is
Yeah.
in conjunction with the airports and the zoo, and there's just a lot of things to do in the area.
Let me ask you something really honest. What is not to like about LaGrange? Because everyone talks about the great stuff, but I like people to know there's always stuff that's not, you know what I mean? Every community has their own thing.
So I would say the thing that is challenging with the LaGrange area is sometimes parking, and that it is so popular.
Yeah.
I will say that the people that are not super happy about having to find parking, it is free. We are still one of the last communities in the downtown or in the suburb area that has free parking. We're grateful that we live in a community that's easy to want to travel here. And
A lot of people come from around the area. That's the thing, the downtown LaGrange and the food scene here is, a lot of these communities around here, people come here and, they have parties. So,
Client base is very diverse.
yeah, I was going to ask, do you have
Outside of the downtown Chicago and everywhere at 18, we're kind of a really great centrally located village to the south suburbs, and so a lot of times people will meet here because essentially.
So what do you do here? Tell me a little bit about, if people are coming to LaGrange and want to know about your store.
The OG of Paint to Sip and the Illinois, in Illinois. And we're actually one of the top studios in the nation. And we do paint and sip parties. So you can come here either as an individual or in groups to enjoy an art experience. We provide you with everything that you need. Our studio is BYOE, so if you're eating beer, wine, or champagne and outside snacks.
You'll see there's popular. What is?
Definitely in studio.
In studio, yeah. Okay. And adults, because it's the sip thing, right? Where's kids? You use kid stuff, I would imagine.
Great question. We are historically born as an adult industry, but we are definitely very kid-y. They typically start at age 5 and up. Blacklight parties, slime. We do some really fun kid activities that they love.
Cool.
I would love to tell you about something super unique that we do here, which is New Year's party animal events, where we actually bring in unique animals to be able to meet and greet, take photos.
You mean like real animals?
Real animals.
Like, give me an example.
Like we have a fennec fox coming this June, and then July and August we've got rock coming, Rico Suave.
Really, that's awesome. I'll have to okay. How do you advertise that kind of stuff? How do you get that out there?
Everything.
All right. Okay, cool. And how do you find that you get? Is it word of mouth mostly that you find? People seem to find this. I mean, 13 years, I'm sure it's ebbed and flowed, and you get people different ways.
Certainly for our business, a lot of it's just organically spread with mom boards and social, everything. We are part of the LaGrange Business Association. So a lot of times that we also do a lot of partnerships with surrounding businesses. And so while we're at these different locations, we do off-site services where we come out to a restaurant or a home or so forth. We are definitely known for restaurants. The Elm is kind of a newer kid on, and also Wooden Paddle. This is on Canada. Those are kind of like the newer shoes. There's also that new it's a Mexican ice cream place. It is visually stunning.
But what about the ice cream place that's been around here for 30?
Kate's for sure is by far
that's like real ice cream too. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a
They do a lot of really great events at Tate.
Okay, cool. I'm going to stop by there because I'm an ice cream connoisseur.
I love Tate's. They are definitely my go-to when I go.
Yeah. I like actually talking to local business owners and people who have cool places like this, right? You get sort of a cool vibe in this way. So cool. Well, thank you so much. Yeah. All right, cool. I'm outside of a cool new place. But Megan over there at that place we were just at mentioned the Elm here. That's sort of a new hot spot in town. One of my friends who lives here was telling me the owner's really cool. They're cool people. But anyways, they have like a rooftop here. It's really got that modern vibe to it. Now there's people eating in there, so I didn't go inside. I really like going into like shops versus restaurants. But this is a cool place. They do event. It's like an event space. They do weddings and stuff. So this is the Elm. And so if you look here, there's some parking over here. If you're coming in from out of town, they are open. You see here, they're open for the rooftop. They got a rooftop. They're open for lunch. And you look, the grade school's right there. It's Cossett Elementary School. It's pretty cool. You got the school just sort of right into the downtown area. So this is the Elm. Look here, they got this nice, also an outdoor area here. That's one thing that's cool is now that the weather's getting warmer, we just have all these outdoor seating and stuff like that. So, all right. So, moving forward, following on, I'm going down, going to show you pretty much all of downtown LaGrange. There's not a ton to it, right? Back to Blackberry Market. This has got a great breakfast joint. You see all outside tables. We love having the outside tables here when you have the opportunity after the winter time. So, the Blueberry Bear Cafe, Steak and Vine over there. So once again, you got this Greek restaurant here. So that's a little Owl and Lark. It's a cool local coffee shop that a lot of people like. Owl and Lark, I would definitely check that out if you're gonna get coffee, that kind of a thing around here. Probably your most worked coffee shop. So more food, man. You got a lot of food around LaGrange. That's the vibe that you get. You know, it's not that like the boutique type stores. You do have some sort of unique stores like that, but it's not, that's not sort of what it's known for as much as it's really like a destination where a lot of people come to get food, you know? There's that new Mexican ice cream place that's open. I want to take you to a different one though, so follow me here, all right? What we're gonna go around here and end up at one of the things that people love about LaGrange. You see, it's just busy. Just get busy here, you know? But I think the vibe that you see is you have a good mix of, there are some unique places here, like look at this place. Artesian Soapery right here. Got that. So Artesian Soap. So you have a mix of like some boutique type stores, but it's a lot of restaurants. A lot of restaurants. So yeah, it's sort of that, it's you got that sort of mix here. It's not quite as like unique, sort of as maybe a place like Oak Park. And you know, you do have quite a lot of restaurants and sort of some of the more upscale like places like the Elm. Sure, once again, I mentioned you have these little side strips down here. I want to show you a couple places over here and the place I mentioned to you. It's been here for over 35 years, and then we're going to wind it up. Not now, but we're going to wind it up at, like I said, something that a ton of people love coming to and moving to LaGrange for. Here's another place, you know. All right, so if you want, one thing, people want to know about costs. So this is just an example of one restaurant. You want to know, like, how much does it cost if you're going to move, if you're going to live here? Starters, crab cake, 23 bucks. Main courses, pork tenderloin, $31. Chicken, 32 bucks. Wood fire steak. So just to give you a little bit of a feel, you know, that's something that people want. Oh, I mean, depending on where you're moving from, what is the food cost there? That kind of a thing. You want to get a feel for that. So that's just this place here, Empanados, is cool. They have a place in Riverside too. If LaGrange isn't for you, I got a video on Riverside. It might be a little bit more of your community. You know, that's one thing that's awesome here is we have a ton of different options. And for where you can find a place to call home, maybe it's not LaGrange, but reach out to me and I can help you, ask you questions about the type of downtown you want, the type of lifestyle you want, and I can help you find that around here because we have over 300 different municipalities. So there's a lot of options, and that's a lot of data to sort of sift through to get a feel for like, okay, what is it that I actually want? So there's a little Mexican place over here. It's a cool little kitchen store. So I mentioned to you that there are some condos. This is one of those opportunities here. Now, as I showed you here, come over here, look here. There is not all these big high rises around here. I really think that's cool about downtown LaGrange, which is not a place like Oak Park, exploded, Elmhurst as well. So I mentioned to you about the vibe here. I'm out of this gourmet candy place outside here, and that's the second store I went in, and they're like, I don't really want to talk to you. So that's sort of the vibe you get in some of these areas, and LaGrange is like that. I haven't had as receptive as Megan was. Not everyone is as receptive as that. I think that that's really the vibe that you get around here that I've gotten as I've been coming through here and doing this sort of tour where I'm actually trying to talk to people. You know, that's the thing. You just walk through, you're not exactly sure. And so when you actually start trying to interact, you get a vibe and a feel for how it is. And that is not, it's not been as welcoming maybe, just my vibe. And maybe you're getting it, but because until I edit this. Okay. Interesting. So Brazilian, yeah. We're gonna have to check this place out here afterwards. But yeah, that's sort of the vibe I get. Like, I don't think this is not like doesn't seem like a little locally owned type place either. So I walk in, the person there probably doesn't know what's going on with anything. Got a sushi place. I love sushi. I'm not sure. I haven't really heard about that place, but there's a great place in Oak Park though. And another little fine arts gallery. So, you know, you got a little different vibe here, but let me show you something I wanna. That's cool. Got a cool botanical store here. And so here is the ice cream that I'm talking about. I don't know if we're gonna be able to go in and video because you know what I'm saying, the way that people are, but this is Tate's Ice Cream. This place has been here for like 35 years. But look behind me, there's all these kids getting ice cream. Tate's, you didn't see that outside of Cold Stone, but this is like that old school ice cream place that a lot of these villages have. And that's one thing that's really cool. I love this place, you know. Look at the old-fashioned sign here. So this is Tate's. I'm not gonna go in. Like I said, I always feel a little uncomfortable so far how there are people watching me and stuff, but this is an old ice cream place. Awesome place to come and get ice cream around here, homemade as well. So, and they're all watching like a kid, right? So that's something that's fun that's happened around here. But anyway, so that's Tate's. Let's walk down. I'm gonna show you at the end here, one of the big reasons people love moving to LaGrange. Absolutely, you wanna say hi? You guys live in LaGrange? Yeah. You like this place, this ice cream place? Is it the best ice cream place around? Have you been to the place around the corner? What's up? It's got the toffee and stuff like that. They have ice cream as well, right? Awesome. So you like living in LaGrange? What do you like about LaGrange?
Yeah.
Walk to town. Yep, that's what people love.
I love that area.
Okay, cool, awesome. All right, so happy kids, that's something that's cool. Kids, I think they know it's YouTube because of the way that it's sideways. I've had it come up to me and they're like, "Oh, are you on YouTube?" Because if I was on like Instagram, it's gonna be the other way. So they know this kind of stuff. Now you get a vibe for what the downtown is like. This is pretty much it. But what's cool is at the end here, this is the train. This is a big reason here. This is a big reason why people move here is because of the train, the 23-minute express train, which is pretty frequent in the morning during rush hour. And then, you have this cool vibe of this, it's very suburban, but you can get into Chicago. You can get to a lot of the other suburbs really easily. All right, so I mentioned here is one of the biggest reasons people like moving here is because of the train. And what's cool is, as Megan mentioned, one, you can park downtown and they don't charge you. And they do have lots that you can actually pay. There's like this lot behind me, which you can pay, which a lot of places, when you have a metro stop there, but you can't necessarily go and park there, like Oak Park specifically. So it makes it a little bit hard to utilize it as well. But the thing is, there's lots of places on the train line. I've showed you LaGrange, but maybe LaGrange isn't your fit. Maybe just sort of that, upper middle class. Maybe you didn't get that vibe that you think you would like. That's the thing. Reach out to me. I can put you in. Oh, train is coming. Lots of people coming off, getting back from work right now. It's that time. But here's the thing is that you'll be able to find your place in the Chicago area. I guarantee you, there's going to be a suburb that can fit you. Imagine that. It does get a little loud around here. But you'll find a suburb that fits you. And reach out to me so that I can help you nail down, like I said, there are over 300, I'm going to wear through this. There's over 300 municipalities around here. So which one's right for you? Everyone finds their place, but this is LaGrange. If you want to watch some other videos about other places like Oak Park, Riverside, Elmhurst, watch some of my other videos and find out what group might be a fit for you.